If the Dodgers were sold, it would make for a fascinating outcome. Ohtani's contract includes a key man clause, which means if Mark Walter or Andrew Friedman leaves the team in the middle of Ohtani's deal, he can opt out. But you know what? Getting here, the Dodgers and their owners have certainly laughed their way to the bank, because a $2.15 billion investment turning into $10 billion over 14 years, who does get those profits? According to this complaint that was filed back in 2014, more than half of the money used to buy the Dodgers came from annuity policy holders. Do they get to enjoy the spoils as well?
I haven't seen any indication that they will, but also this is like a lot of the affiliated transactions. It often benefits the person in control, Mark Walter, but the policyholders, it's to their detriment. They don't understand all of these things or even going on, so they don't know to act on their own behalf.
If you're a Dodgers fan, there's finally some huge news about Shohei Ohtani's return to the mound, and the timeline could be much sooner than many people expected. The Dodgers have revealed that Ohtani is trending toward making his next pitching start on Sunday, and this could be one of the most important moments of his 2026 season. According to the latest report, Dodgers manager Dave Roberts told the California Post Jack Harris that Ohtani is trending toward pitching Sunday against the Detroit Tigers. But there is still one major step that needs to happen first. Ohtani is scheduled to throw a bullpen session on Friday. That session could determine whether the Dodgers actually put him on the mound Sunday. If everything goes well, Ohtani could finally return to pitching after being sidelined since July 3rd. And there is an important detail here. The Dodgers are not planning to immediately throw Ohtani back into a normal starting pitcher workload. Instead, the plan is reportedly to use him as an opener, potentially allowing him to pitch just the first inning before turning the game over to the bullpen. For Ohtani, this would be a major step forward. Remember, this season has been complicated by both a knee issue and a biceps injury. The biceps problem reportedly developed as Ohtani compensated for the knee, which made his return to the mound even more complicated. Because of those issues, Ohtani has spent weeks doing something unusual for one of baseball's biggest stars. He has been exclusively a hitter. But now, the Dodgers appear ready to carefully bring the two-way superstar back to pitching. Before the injuries interrupted his season, Ohtani had been extremely impressive on the mound. Through 14 starts, he has a 9-5 record with a 1.79 ERA over 85.2 innings. He has also produced a 27.9% strikeout rate. Even more impressive, 12 of those 14 starts were quality starts. That explains why Ohtani had been part of the National League Cy Young conversation before his injury issues. And of course, he has remained one of the biggest MVP candidates in baseball because of what he has done offensively. Now the Dodgers face an interesting problem. If Ohtani pitches Sunday, his return affects the team's entire pitching plan. Tyler Glasnow is also expected to pitch Sunday after recently returning from the injured list. That means the Dodgers could potentially use Glasnow as the bulk pitcher behind Ohtani. In other words, Ohtani could open the game, pitch one inning, and then Glasnow could take over and handle the majority of the innings. That would allow the Dodgers to get Ohtani back on the mound without immediately forcing him to throw 4, 5, or 6 innings. And this strategy makes even more sense because of Major League Baseball's designated hitter rules. When Ohtani pitches, the Dodgers need to keep him in a lineup as their designated hitter. Using him as an opener allows the Dodgers to take advantage of his pitching while keeping his bat in the lineup. That is a huge advantage. Ohtani doesn't have to choose between pitching and hitting. He could do both. But the Dodgers are clearly going to be cautious. The goal isn't simply to get Ohtani back on the mound for one game. The goal is to have him healthy and ready for the postseason. And that could mean gradually increasing his workload. The Dodgers could use a piggyback system with another pitcher taking over after Ohtani. As Ohtani's arm builds back up, his workload could eventually increase to 3 or more innings. There are also several pitchers who could potentially help in this role. Eric Lauer and Justin Wrobleski could be options, while Roki Sasaki is another possibility. However, Sasaki could eventually transition into a more traditional relief role as the season moves toward the postseason. And that brings us to the bigger picture. The Dodgers' rotation is suddenly looking extremely dangerous. Tyler Glasnow is back. Blake Snell has returned from arthroscopic elbow surgery. Tarik Skubal was added at the trade deadline. Yoshinobu Yamamoto remains one of the team's major rotation pieces. And now Shohei Ohtani appears to be on the verge of returning to the mound. That gives the Dodgers an incredible amount of pitching depth heading into the final stretch of the regular season. But it also creates some difficult decisions. If Ohtani is healthy enough to pitch, he is obviously going to be part of the rotation. Yamamoto, Snell, and Skubal are also expected to occupy major rotation spots. That could leave Glasnow and Sasaki competing for other roles during the regular season, with the possibility of moving toward relief work in October. And this is exactly what makes Ohtani's return so fascinating. The Dodgers don't necessarily need him to become a traditional starting pitcher immediately. They simply need to find a way to maximize his impact while protecting his health. Imagine the possibilities. Ohtani opens a game. He throws one inning. Then Glasnow comes in and handles the bulk of the work. Meanwhile, Ohtani stays in the lineup as the designated hitter. That means the Dodgers could get his pitching and his bat in the same game. And as the season progresses, if his arm responds well, the Dodgers could gradually increase his workload. For a team thinking about October, that could be a massive advantage. But there is still one big question. Will Ohtani actually pitch Sunday? The answer depends heavily on Friday's bullpen session. If Ohtani comes through that session without any setbacks, the Dodgers appear ready to move forward with the Sunday plan. If there is any problem, however, the team has already shown that it will prioritize his health over rushing him back. And honestly, that may be the smartest approach. The Dodgers have championship expectations. They don't need Ohtani to prove anything in August. They need him healthy when the postseason arrives. He has already shown that he could be one of the most dangerous hitters in the sport. Before his injury issues, he also showed that he could be an elite pitcher. Now fans are waiting to see whether he can put both sides of his game together again. So, Dodgers fans, the comeback clock may officially be ticking. Ohtani could pitch Sunday. But first comes Friday's bullpen session. If that session goes according to plan, Shohei Ohtani could be back on the mound very soon. And if he is able to build his workload safely over the next few weeks, the Dodgers could enter October with something every opponent should fear: a healthy Shohei Ohtani who can change a game with his arm and then change it again with his bat. What do you think? Should the Dodgers let Ohtani pitch only one inning Sunday, or should they be more aggressive with his workload? Let me know in the comments. And if you want the latest Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani updates, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay tuned for the next update.